And welcome back to the Long Cock Cricket Podcast. This is our second in 2 weeks. Owen already knows that. No theme tune, but we'll not dwell on that because we got a new subscriber. So welcome aboard.
Did we lose any?
A lot.
Did we?
I don't know.
That's weird because when I looked
think
at
we
it
lost.
recently, I thought it was like 20 more than we had.
What were we on? 223? We beat Double Nelson, which is the most
Always
important.
a relief when you're on 222 to make it past to 223. There's no such thing as Double Nelson.
There is.
Do you mean only as a team, though?
No, if you're individual double...
No
Yeah.
one's bothered about it. No one's on 222 going, uh-oh.
So if you're on 111, why would you go, uh-oh? Because that's a big score.
No, but it's more a team score.
Well, but this is a team sport. It's me and you.
Not team
This
sport, team score.
If this was a partnership, it'd be like Ben Stokes and you'd be Jack Leach. I'll be Ben Stokes. If you
How
made
would that- how would that
222
work?
subscribers, you'd have made one of them. They would have come for you.
I don't get that. That makes sense. No.
Yeah.
No.
People are drawn because of me.
Why do you think that?
My dulcet tones.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's crack on. We've got England team to go to New Zealand, but we thought we'd start off with a little bit of news, bit of reaction to the news.
Okay. What's the news, mate? Are you going to read it and I'll give the reaction?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'm on just on the BBC Sport cricket page at the moment, and I'm just going to run through a few of the headlines. Cook, after winning the county championship with Essex, he's to play another year at least. Surprised he's come out and said, I thought it'd be another 4 or 5 years, seeing as, he had Gooch as a mentor, and he's a big fan of Gooch, and Gooch went on forever for England, let alone for Essex. So kind of expect Alistair Cook to take a similar route than Trescothick. And
I don't think he's got anything left to do in it.
you think he's... Well, he's just won the county
He likes
championship.
being a farmer, doesn't he? So I reckon what his plan is,
I honestly...
1 or 2 more years,
Yeah.
and then he's going to become a farmer, and I reckon he's got a peachy job in the media once he finishes.
Because he's done a lot of work with Test Match Special.
Yeah.
He's been on there quite a few times now.
They're
I
like,
could,
Cookie, come on, mate.
I
Call
can
it a
see him
day.
going on there. And even, we'll talk about Beefy and Gower going. In a few years' time, he could be one of the new younger players to go on there.
Yeah, that would be... I'd love to have
Because they
Alistair
love having
Cook in
England
there.
captains.
Yeah.
And you think he's in the same... He's very well educated, very well spoken, in the same kind of brackets as...
Do you remember when they had Andrew Strauss? He joined them for a bit.
I thought
Like,
yeah.
Recently after he'd retired.
Yeah.
And they were talking about facing like 90-mile-an-hour bowling. And they put him in the nets. And he'd obviously not batted at all since he'd retired. And they were like, well, you're the most recent player to have played against it. Here we go. And he couldn't hit it.
Couldn't.
Did you see it? He just
No.
edged it and just couldn't touch it. He's like, yeah, you definitely need to keep practicing to face bowling that quick.
Well,
Just shows though, didn't it? That was like a couple of months and he couldn't face it anymore.
have you seen Nasser Hussain trying to catch a ball?
No.
That's terrible. But I do see Alistair Cook going down the media route rather than perhaps in the coaching role. Although I could see him maybe coaching. I wouldn't see him go back to England, but I could see him coaching.
It wouldn't be a bad idea for him to go into coaching, teach people how to bat in a test match.
Yeah, I could see him being a batting coach at Essex or something like that, or perhaps like an England Lions batting coach.
It depends what he wants to do, doesn't it? Because
Yeah,
I think
'cause
he
he-
wants to farm.
You are
And
right.
if he's
I think
like
he does like that farming
50-50 with a half-time contract of doing some series in England and then the rest of the time on his farm. He'd take that over being a coach where you're fully committed to a team
yeah.
going around the world or whatever.
We saw Northants and Lancashire go up from Division 2. So no room for Worcestershire in there. They're now in the first division. Nice to see Northants do well. Trescothick,
We did get to a final.
yeah, lost it on the last ball. Watched that. Actually, it was just before we filmed the last.
Did Mo and Ali get a pretty good score?
Yeah, Mo didn't play badly actually across the... He was a very good captain. But anyway, Trescothick hung up his
Bat.
bat.
Well, if it was a wiki, you could say gloves.
Gloves, but we would
Hung
wear,
up
he's
his-
won a lot of gloves.
Helmet.
I was thinking helmet, but bat. Trescothick's now no longer a county championship player, which is a shame because obviously, was he 41, 42?
What do you reckon he's going to do? Do you reckon he'll just walk away from cricket?
No, do you know what I can see him doing? You know how like Rob Key and Dominic Cork, not so much from now, he's a coach, but you know, like Rob Key does like the county championship games.
Right. He'll just follow that.
That's him now.
Yeah.
Because he's actually quite nice to listen to.
He'd be great. Yeah, he'd be great to having it.
Heard him commentate on Sky Sports County Championship games. So Tresco, one of my all-time favourite players, actually, especially for England. Like
It's weird,
one of my
isn't
all-time
it?
English favourite players.
Like,
always loved Tres.
Brilliant batsman.
Fantastic.
But you wouldn't really coach to replicate the way he bats, would you?
No. And actually, I was listening to a podcast, not a podcast, they call it Captain's Log. It's on Sky Sports, and they did Nasser Hussain.
Right.
And Tres was actually one of the favourites to take over Nasser. It went to Varney.
Okay.
But it was not a toss-up, but it was...
I reckon we could get a job on Channel 5.
The conversations between Nasser and Duncan Fletcher, I think it was the runners were Varney and Trescothick, so... And I loved watching him bat.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Do you know what? He was one of my favourite players to play with on Cricket 07 as well.
Yeah, I think he was mine, actually.
No, because you liked
07.
Strauss.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe that was right.
I always liked Tres.
That was a great opening partnership, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
The
and
glory days.
Trescothick was one of the best ODI bats. He would get into today's team.
ODI?
Yeah, not what with his current name, but he would get, if it was Tres at his best, he'd easily get into today's Test team, but his ODI team as well. He was a fantastic ODI player. Let's have a little continue to look down the old... have a look at Pakistan first ODI versus Sri Lanka. Match abandoned. Brilliant. Stokes has been nominated for Player of the Year. The players obviously got together and nominated Ben Stokes. That doesn't look like that has gone ahead.
Players innings of the year.
Player.
Yeah. Obviously just judged on an innings, though.
We said 2.
Well.
Let's have a little look at
1.
England's. See if there's any news coming from the England camp. Looks like we've got England contracts have gone out here. So we've got Jofra Archer, Rory Burns and Joe Denley have all been handed England central contracts, which is...
What does that mean as far as selection?
That they are the favourites to be selected.
Okay, but it doesn't mean you're guaranteed selection.
No, you can not select someone on the centre, but you're paying somebody an England wage, not a county wage, and then bonuses if you like. I think they get paid bonuses, but they don't get paid like they'll be on an England contract. They're contracted
so
to England.
they will be getting paid to play for England if they're picked or not.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
So you're a heavy favourite.
Yeah.
To get in the team.
Yeah.
All right.
It's almost to stop the player. Jofra Archer I can see, but it's almost to stop players going out on doing the franchise now, and being overplayed for their county.
I see. Okay.
Because you can now rely on an England wage when before it was I think it was probably bonuses.
Yeah.
And match fees, but
okay.
not
interesting.
Not central contracts. And also I think I have a little look if they've nominated anybody else on this list. Ashley Dobbs come out and said door is not closed for Hales. Though all the Hales things, was it cocaine?
I don't know.
There's
loads of things about.
That had all closed.
I don't think the door is closed for any batsman who plays at county level in the top order who's English. I don't think the door is closed for you.
Well, yeah, that's the state of the...
Yeah, but I think there's so many places up for grabs. I think if someone we've never heard of before had a really good end to the season and has never played for England before, as in got 300s in 5 games or something,
yeah,
they would be up for selection.
Yeah,
I don't think that's shocking news that the door's not closed for Hales. I think the door's closed for anyone.
Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid have lost their Test central contract. They are now just contracted to the white ball game. While it looks like Jack Leach has been awarded an incremental contract for 2019-20, whatever that means. Moeen Ali is still requesting time away from the game. That hasn't come out any change. And looks like Liam Plunkett is now not in the
How old
plans.
is Liam Plunkett now?
It's
Did he
32.
just start playing when he was like 17
young,
or something?
really young.
All right.
But he's now not on the white ball contract. And I don't think he's been selected for the team to go out to New Zealand, which
He's
we
never
will
really
go on.
been an England selector's favourite, is he? To me, it always seems like they're picking him because they should. Yeah. Whenever they've had the chance not to pick him, they don't pick him. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen, like, I think he's underrated, Liam Plunkett.
Yeah, I do.
He's a really good bowler, but it always seemed to be like he'd have spells of playing. I don't know, is he injury prone or something? He just seems to like.
No, I don't think. Well, I think
don't like
he
him.
has had injuries previously, but he's not somebody who's like a Mark Wood.
Tremlett or someone.
Yeah, or a
Yeah, Mark Wood.
Mark
Who's
Wood's a
injured
good,
every time he
a
bowls.
good example. Graham Onions.
Right. Yeah.
Let's have a little look through these contracts. So the interesting names here for the test. We've got them on all three. We've got Jofra Archer's got a contract in all three. Johnny Bairstow.
James Anderson.
Josh Butler, Joe Root, Ben Stokes, Chris Wokes. They've got those are the only players that were contract in all three formats.
Right.
Interesting to see Chris Wokes and even Josh Butler and Johnny Bairstow central contracts, because Johnny Bairstow's been dropped. Chris Wokes isn't always in the team. Purely test contracts. Got Jimmy Anderson, no surprises there. Brody. Rory Burns, obviously he's in the long-term plans. And Sam Curran is purely on a test contract, even though I do think he could probably play across all three.
I think.
And then white ball contracts is pure, just on a white ball contract. You got Ali, Denley. Denley's in the white ball contract, not in the tests.
Right.
Owen Morgan, of course. You got Rash, Jason Roy, Mark Wood.
There was talk about Owen Morgan calling it a day, wasn't there, for England? Because he won the World Cup.
Been a lot of talk about whether the new managed coach would come in and change the captains.
I see.
I
So
don't think-
you reckon if he loses the captain, surely you wouldn't get rid of him as the captain, would you? If he's just won the World Cup,
Perhaps they're thinking, well, perhaps it's
he
time
won't
to
be
give it
there
to
for
someone
the
else.
next one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe, and that his reign has been successful. Can somebody else go and take that on?
And what's your because he doesn't play test matches, like he's never going to play test matches. What are you trying to do as England captain once you've won the ODI World Cup?
I think you got to just
You just go like, and he's getting toward
yeah.
getting towards the end of his. He's in the twilight, isn't he?
He's in the latter stages.
Yeah.
Of his
So
career.
it's like, well, what more am I going to do as England captain
well,
of
I
the
think
ODI team?
what he would want to do is really cement that team as the best team in the
Winning the World Cup does that.
in the world, and then you got the ICC rankings, which I think England are pretty much they're in the top three anyway. They might
If you win the World Cup, that's the deal with the World Cup. You're the best team
Yeah.
in the world because you won the World Cup, even though we didn't win it, but we got to the final.
But then I think that there's still. I think he could continue the good work he's done, and I'm not a big fan of Trevor Bayliss, but the work that he's done with a new coach, and that could cement England for future success.
Here's an idea for you. What do you think of this? Because the World Cup wasn't decided at Lords in that game.
They have
It was
one
a
in
draw.
this tour.
This tour decides the World Cup.
There's no ODI.
How good would that be?
There's no ODIs, so that would be different.
No. The Test series decides it.
That would be weird.
How good would that be?
It would be.
I'd love that. I'd really get into that. They'd be like, okay, it was a draw. We'll all admit that. But it goes down to these test matches. Here we go. And you've got to pick the same team
Could
that played in that game.
Why don't they do it like the Ladies' Ashes, where you get
The points.
a point
That annoys
system?
me, that.
I actually quite like it.
Oh, that's stupid.
It's really good if you're not going to play more than one or two test matches, which in the Ladies' Ashes it's one test match, I think. So they have to do
They
it
only
points.
play one test match?
Yeah.
Why?
I imagine it's probably something to do with. This is me going on.
That
a
seems
hunch,
rubbish. Why would you do that?
But I think the white ball stuff for ladies cricket gets more viewers
Yeah,
in.
all right. Just
And so it's
purely
more
on
lucrative.
numbers. Okay.
And
Oh, that's pants. So, well, I don't know. I'd rather that than 2. I never get the point. Why would you have 2?
Let's go into
That's kind of that would be kind of cool, actually. I've just completely flipped there,
I like that
isn't
idea.
it? 1 test match.
I really like the idea. I've always
I'd
liked
have
the
it
idea.
10 days though.
No, I like
I'd
the
make
idea.
it a 10-day test match.
I like the idea of having the
4 innings each.
point system.
No, I'm not. I'm not having 2020s count towards winning the Ashes.
But okay, perhaps not for an Ashes series. But let's say we go to New Zealand
Right.
and there's 2 test matches and 5.
Right, and you
T20s.
lose both test matches, win the 2020s, so you go, we won. But you didn't. Because the test matches is what matter. No one cares about the 2020s.
But they wouldn't be
No, we got more points.
They
Yeah,
wouldn't
well
be
done,
equal
mate.
points. The test match point system would be, let's say, 6 points per test match. ODI is 2,
1 point.
1 point, and then
So then the 2020s are pointless anyway.
well, they're not because you don't know who's going to win the test matches. They could be even, and it could be a really good. It
Don't
keeps.
like it.
How many times do we look at a series and we go, "Oh, the T20's coming up now. There'll be
Yeah, but
4 in 2 weeks.
if we won the test match series, if there's 5 test matches, we won it 3-2. We won it. We won the test match series. You're not then winning. You're not winning the tour because you
But if
beat us in
there's-
3 2020s.
if there's 5 test matches, that's a tour that's going to be really interesting. That's going to be you're not going to have England versus New Zealand 5 test matches.
No.
That's going to be and you need that buzz. I think the point system for perhaps those tours that don't do well would be lucrative for cricket. I'm all for it. Anyway, do you want to go into the teams to play?
Do it, mate.
England have got 2 tests in New Zealand. I'm going to run through the lineup.
Is it? It's 2.
2 tests in New Zealand. I'll run through the lineup and we'll just have a general chat about who's there, who's not.
Should we do each player and then
Nah, we don't.
you say the name and you say just we won't do it like you have to memorise your team,
Yeah.
but whether they get into your team or not.
Well, there's a lot of players I don't know their names of, so we'll have to have a little look on. Gonna have to have a little look on Google on perhaps averages.
I have to say yes or no. See how as quick as I can.
Joe Root.
Yes. Come on, go through it.
Doffer Archer.
Yes.
Brody.
No.
Roy Burns.
Yes.
Joss Butler.
Yes.
Zach Crawley.
No.
You're not gonna have a team because you don't know these players. Sam Curran.
Yes.
Joe Denley.
Yes.
Leachy.
Yes.
Saqib Mahmood.
No.
Matthew Parkinson.
No.
Ollie Pope.
Yes.
Wow. Dominic Sibley.
No.
Ben Stokes.
No. Yes.
And Chris Wokes.
Yes. I don't know what sort of team this is.
I don't even think you got 11 there.
Oh, we run out.
You've run out, yeah, because there's lots
I
of
think
new,
I had a lot of batsmen, which
new
is
kids. Joe Root's kept the captaincy. Happy about that?
good.
We had a chat before.
I think
We went on, didn't we?
I think the thing is, I don't think Joe Root. He's not my sort of captain, but like we said, you've got about 2 players, maybe 3,
I think you got 2 batsmen in that- in
who
that lineup.
have a place in the team that
Yeah.
they will do every week. So it's Joe
And
Root
one
or
of those
Ben
players
Stokes, and
didn't.
you can't be having a fighter as your captain,
Yeah.
can you?
And what I was going to say is one of those players
He's just high on Red Bull all the time.
didn't get
So-
was it in the team because he was fighting other
Yeah,
people.
so-
That's poor. I think perhaps Joe Root for another
Until you've
year.
got someone else who plays all
Yeah.
the time.
And
Gene Butler's got a pretty solid place, especially now because
No.
Bairstow doesn't play. He's
oh,
got the
maybe
gloves.
because he got the glove. Yes, that does cement his place better. What do you think about giving you a wicket keeper the captaincy?
I like that. I like that one because
Is that mentally tiring though? Because when he's in the field, he's in the ball.
you're in a brilliant position
You are.
in the field,
Yeah, but you are
and you're batting low down the order or lower
yeah.
down the order, so you don't have to concentrate so much on your batting. You can think you've got a really good view of the field when you're fielding. 'Cause you're the wicket keeper. You're the centre of it all. I think it'd be really good.
But the counter argument to that is he is already in the game. Every time they field, he's in the game every ball. I mean, that's going to make a noise. You're hitting.
No one can hear that.
So he's going to be in the game every ball.
Yeah, right.
already.
Uh-huh.
Any time where it's true enough time where they're throwing the ball, is that not important for a wicketkeeper to have that time just perhaps out of the game, not thinking about the fielding? Can he rely on that? Because he's already got quite a big job in the field. And they often say wicketkeepers are leaders amongst men anyway, without having to be the captain. So is that perhaps why we don't see many captains being wicketkeepers? It's almost like having your all-rounder as a captain. It's just too much for them to take on. And perhaps that's what's gone wrong with Joe Root's batting. Because Butler's batting isn't...
Hang on, you can't say that with Joe. He's not an all-rounder or a wicket-keeper.
No, but Joe Root's game has been taken away with the captaincy.
But then that's not an argument, because you're just saying it affects your game, whatever you do. So being a wicket-keeper or not doesn't matter, because he's just a batsman.
But then what I'm saying is Butler's role is, especially in the field, was way more than... Is that going to really take away more? Not take away an equal amount. Can that take away more?
I'd be willing to try it.
What? Oh,
but again, we don't know if he's actually got a solid place, do we? Even though he does have the gloves. Because if his batting goes to complete pot, then I think they obviously don't really rate him that highly as a wickie, because if Bairstow's in the team, he's the wickie. So that doesn't make any sense.
Also, I think Josh Butler's batting isn't at a stage now where it's untouchable. Do you know what I mean? No. It's almost like if he does take a certain hit from the captaincy,
I don't think there's anyone in that
it's
team
trouble.
That's untouchable.
I think, but then the nearest person is Joe Root, isn't it? Really?
I think Ben Stokes is the person who's never going to get dropped from the England team if he's fit.
Really?
Yeah. If Joe Root went this series and the next series, like just averaging like in the 20s, just terrible.
Yeah.
I reckon they could get rid of him.
Well, Johnny Bairstow averaged in the 20s.
I think
the summer, and he's
Stokes, I reckon he could go 5 years averaging 10, dropping every catch that came to him, bowling bouncers and wides, and they'd put him in the team every time.
Let's have a look through a few more of these names. Jofra Archer, Stuart Broad. We don't need to talk too much about those. Nice to see Jofra Archer.
I said no to Stuart Broad, but okay.
Go on then. Why?
Go on then.
You got no Jimmy Anderson out there.
Okay.
You're in swinging conditions. You need a leader of the attack.
Stuart Broad.
You need a leader of the attack.
I don't think Stuart Broad's a swing bowler.
No, but he will get the ball to move.
I don't think he does.
You don't. Okay.
Stuart Broad is not a swing bowler.
What about this then?
He pulled that face from a catch, not from him bowling swing.
That was when he took 17,000 wickets of one run in 3.5 overs.
It's got nothing to do with swing bowling.
He pitched it up. It's good conditions, New Zealand, for Stuart Broad. There's no denying that.
I just have.
You're an idiot.
Nah, there's loads of people who can do his job.
You need a leader of the attack.
If he could bat a little bit. He's not good enough with the ball
number 11,
to be getting in as a bowler.
He's at number 11. That's absolutely fine.
He's not a number 11 though, is he?
That shows how strong our batting line is. A man with a test.
It shows how weak it is that he's not number 11.
No.
Yes, it does, because he's terrible with the bat. He should be number 11, and he's not. He could get in at number 5, and you wouldn't tell a difference.
Do you think we need this inexperienced bowler in there with no Jimmy Anderson? Someone to lead the attack, someone to make those calls?
Someone to show him how to bowl.
He had a good Ashes. You just don't like him because I like him.
Mate. That's my opinion.
This is like life, this is. Everything I like, you dislike.
No, that's what you do. I don't do that.
Rory Burns keeps his place. Happy with that opening?
He scores some runs.
Had a good Ashes. Averaged over 40.
I think for this England team, anyone that averages in the 40 needs to be playing, because no one does. So you can't. He's a no-brainer.
And Josh Butler to have the gloves. We haven't spoken about him actually having the gloves. Spoke about Johnny Bairstow going.
Yeah, Johnny Bairstow had the gloves and batted higher than him. That makes no sense, does it? Like we were saying, like having the concentration of being the wickie is a lot.
Yeah. And
then you're batting high up the order as well.
I think you have to be a really talented batsman to bat. Oh, there hasn't been many. The one that's screaming out to me is a wicketkeeper who could bat high up as Kumar Sangakkara.
Yeah, but you
this
look
was a
at
man
his
who averaged over 50.
Yeah, but look at his average when he didn't wicket keep.
Was it like 70, wasn't it?
It was massive.
Like,
So
you've got.
he's a good evidence. Even when you're as good as him, you're still better when you don't wicket keep.
If you think about talented wicketkeeper batsmen, you've got Mark Boucher batted down low. You've got
Gilchrist,
MS Dhoni, Gilchrist,
but he batted low down the order. He was like
And
7.
Brendan McCullum. They've all got that same way of playing as well.
Yeah.
Very attacking.
Yeah, Matt Pryor.
Matt Pryor,
Yeah.
counter-attacking. Would bat down low. Just thinking, that Sarfraz from
I think
Pakistan are alright.
the thing is, if you're in the field for a very long time,
you need
wicket keepers are never having a rest
They're not,
when you're in the field for that long.
They need about 6 or 7, don't they?
You've
really?
got to be in the second half of the order.
What about his actual? He seems a fine keeper to me.
Who? Bairstow.
Joss Butler.
Yeah,
I don't think there's
I think he's
any
good.
worries over his keeping.
Oh, I
He
think
does
he's
it in
good.
the ODI. He's very, very calm. So I think when it comes down to
It's never made sense to me as to why he hasn't. If he's in the team, why he doesn't have it.
when it comes down
I
to
think he should.
referrals, I think he's going to be spot on. I do think Johnny Bairstow did a good job on that as well. Johnny Bairstow being dropped. How do you feel about
That's
that?
another reason to have your wiki as a captain.
Best, yeah. I think the wicketkeeper has a big say in it anyway.
Yes, but he'd have all
Yeah,
the say.
he'll
in it.
Johnny Bairstow being dropped.
He definitely
Was it a
didn't
surprise?
make it. He didn't make himself undroppable, did he?
No.
So
Though I was slightly surprised because I thought they kind of.
you know that he has the quality, don't you? Because he has had stints of batting really well.
Yeah.
So you're taking the risk of dropping him, trying to find someone who is going to give you that quality.
I think somebody came out the other day and said, "This isn't Johnny Bairstow's Test career over. This might only be a temporary thing. He just needs to go and regain form.
I don't think. Yeah,
He just needs to go and
being
find
dropped from a testing happens all the time.
Yeah,
Even greats have done better once they've been dropped.
Yeah.
Like Ian Bell,
yeah,
his career was completely different when he came back the second time.
yeah." And I think Johnny Bairstow's got the ability to come back. I do think.
Does he wicket keep for his county? Because I think that's a problem. If he wicket keeps for his county, I think he's in trouble. I think he just needs to go back and bat.
The problem is where's he going to bat now? Our summer's over. He needs to go abroad.
Yeah,
He needs to go abroad and not do IPL.
he needs to be
Although
batting.
That's hard for him. If you get dropped, you're saying, "Well, I'll be on the IPL because I've got the money."
Go to Australia.
Yeah,
Go to Australia.
Go to
He
Australia.
needs to be batting because number one, that's your best chance to get in the team because we desperately need batsmen.
What I would look for him to do is, I don't know. How do you think about? Is this too much pressure? Is this too soon? Johnny Bairstow to go straight into the England Lions team and wherever they're touring in the winter,
Yeah,
he goes and plays
sure.
with those boys.
Well, that's the point of the Lions team, isn't it?
Yeah,
So yeah,
but
he should
I
be.
wonder if they're giving Johnny Bairstow a break from cricket or they just think he's poor form. I haven't looked too much into that.
To be fair, and I'm not having a go at the new people that have been picked, but this team would suggest it's an opportunity for people and a rest for some.
Perhaps, yeah.
This isn't. If it was the Ashes, that team's never been picked.
No, you're
So,
exactly right.
so I think that team would make it look like it's more of a rest for players that you'd be surprised that have been dropped, like Bairstow. So we're just going to look up.
We're going to have a little look at Zach Crawley. I've known nothing about him. I've typed him into.
He's an England professional cricketer. Do you reckon he's
Google.
got on Wikipedia 6'5"?
So he
Big
plays
lad.
for Kent. You're obsessed with height. Oh, we've actually got
Not obsessed.
stats here. So
Average of 31.
this is year by year, which is nice to see actually. All right, this is his first class. Oh, that's 2017 onwards, is it? Let's have a little look at his actual proper stats. So
The last 2 years are pretty. Pretty
the average is 36 games, averages 31.27.
Do we know what he's in the team for? He's a batsman. He's 21.
Zach Crawley, 21 years of age, you want to see if he
He did
can bowl?
play for Kent under 14s.
Doesn't bowl.
All right, so he's an out-and-out batsman, averaging 31.
High score 168. They must just see a young lad who's got potential here, because his
Give him a go.
I wonder how he's done this year. They got the 2018, 2019 stats on here.
Do you think? What's your thinking? Because you see this a lot with. I don't know if it happens with all cricket teams, but it probably does internationally.
Yeah.
They'll pick a player like this lad in the squad. He will go and not see the field of play and go back.
I don't know.
Why do that?
I don't know if that's going to be the case. Honestly,
No, I
don't
know,
anything
but
about this,
I don't think
this
it
lad.
should be. But you see it all the time. It wouldn't surprise me if this guy doesn't step on the field, and if he does, he'll either be bringing on water or be a substitute fielder.
Right, let's have a look. Let's try and find out some more.
They always go, oh,
information on
we just
where he
gave him a
bats.
chance to come and see how the England setup works. But I'm pretty sure it's not that much different to a county setup. You're playing the same game.
Just trying to find out where he actually bats in the lineup.
Well, that doesn't matter, does it? What, for the county?
Well,
That makes
it
no
gives you
difference.
an
They'll
indication
put him
on
wherever they want.
where he might be. So in the 2018 season, which is last year, isn't
Yeah.
it? He scored 755 runs at an average of 31.
So he had exactly what you would expect because he averages 31.
He scored 2 centuries this year and made his England Lions debut for a 4-day match against Australia.
How'd he do in that?
I can't.
No comment.
There's no link to that.
Okay. Well, it's not something to get massively excited about.
No, it's not something that's for me with.
The thing is I just hope we get to have a look at him.
Yeah.
Because
Problem is, we've got 2 test managers to have a look at him. How many?
I know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't actually get on the field.
Yeah.
And then what is the point?
What's this? Right. We've got next. We've done Crawley. We know nothing about him. Averages 31.
Right.
Young lad. We've got Sam Curran. I think New Zealand's conditions will be really good for him.
Yeah, perfect. I like him. He should be getting in the team.
Joe Denley, I think, deserves to open the batting again. We've got no one else.
Exactly.
Unless one of these other lads are, which we'll go on to. We've got no one else. Joe Denley had a bit of fight to him. Scored that 90, didn't he, in the last test?
I mean, that's the most up for grabs, isn't it? Opening batsman.
I think
There's no one. There's one. We've got one opening batsman who is only there because he's had one series that he's done all right in.
Yeah, and
So I mean,
Joe Denley's pretty much almost there as well.
There's
with
no
it
one
in the
who's
same
like-
brackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy.
so
to
put
see
him in there.
I wonder if he wants to open, because obviously he didn't come in the team as an opener. I think everybody would want to come in the team at number 5, but he's gonna.
Who else?
made to
Who's?
Jack Leach continues with his.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's nice.
Actual spinner.
And we've got. It's nice that we don't have the. I know Mo had to bow out for a little while, and we'll see what happens. But it's nice not to have to think, oh, are we going to have to make a choice between those two? It's
No,
just,
we have a spinner now.
He's got the job.
Yeah, that's good. Who are we looking up now, mate?
Have a look at Saqib Mahmood,
Okay.
who's a cricketer.
England cricketer.
I typed him into Google. He is 6'1", right arm fast bowler.
Right arm fast.
I'm not, but then I don't know how fast.
82.
Let's have a little look. He's
got 7 not out scores. Now, when you're a bowler, that suggests you're terrible because that means you're batting 11.
He's got an average of 28.9.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were still talking about his batting.
No.
I was going to say he's going to get in the... They'll put him right in the team.
He's only played 16 matches, picking up the 42 wickets, with a best of 4 for 48. Very much an unproven or young player. Plays for Lancashire. Has represented England under 19s. Age 22, another young lad. There's a lot of chat about this lad actually on the county scene, from what I've heard from
Your sources.
pundits. Yeah.
Right.
and those I employ to go out with.
Yeah.
An average of
Looks
28.9 is pretty good. Although Lancashire have been playing in the 2nd division this year.
I don't know how much you can really get from stats, to be honest.
I think especially, you can't get a great deal when someone's 22.
Well, exactly.
'Cause
Well,
they've
we've
played a
looked at a
handful of
batsman
games.
who's 21 and this
Yeah.
bowler's 22. So I think
I think there's a good chance we might see this lad actually play. I think,
it would be good to have another fast bowler.
Mhm.
If he's bowling above 85 regularly, then definitely
yeah,
you should be giving him a go.
Which if he's called fast, you'd hope so.
And realistically, Stuart Broad is on borrowed time. I mean, you'd say he's already surpassed. He should have retired years ago. And then you got Jimmy Anderson, who's probably got one more English summer left in him, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
So you got to be looking to be moving on. You got Jofra Archer, but you wouldn't. You could do with more than one bowler.
I think Sam Curran's pretty promising. You got Chris Wokes, who I think it would be
I
lovely
think he's
to
had
see.
injuries, to be honest.
Chris
I think
Wokes,
they've hampered his career. Because there was a point where we're like, okay, Chris Wokes is now an England player. Like, he should be getting picked every time. And now it's sort of, he's lost it a little bit. Who are we looking at now?
The
pal?
next player is a player called Matthew Parkinson, and it comes up to saying he's a leg spin bowler.
A leg spin bowler.
So we got a leggy in here, which we'll have a little look
He
at.
definitely won't play. He definitely won't play.
He can't bat. Can't bat for toffee. Average of 5 in 20 games.
He definitely won't play.
So look at his bowling. Average of 25.
Yeah, that's good. 6 for 23. He won't play.
He's played 20. Well, we just had a minor.
Yeah, it won't happen. It won't. Listen, after this podcast, it won't happen again.
We actually thought one of the mics had completely broken. And there was absolutely no chance.
Like
of
back
us,
to day one.
And you did say, shall we just throw this one mic between both of us?
Yeah. Well, that's what we did on the first one.
That never went out live.
Has that never gone out? Have we lost that? Have we still got it?
I think it's on. Do you remember when
A rainy day, that should be. What was that? Was that a combined 11?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, like a historical combined 11.
Which we could still do.
I think we just chucked that one out.
So Matthew Parkinson, we've talked about Owen saying he'll never get a game being a leg spinner.
They're not going to play him, are they? Because Jack Leach has only just got his place as a spinner. They're not going to play two spinners. There's no way that guy gets... He won't get to touch a ball.
No, I don't know. He's not.
He'll just get to net with them.
Unless somehow there's some spinning pitch they come across.
Or Leach is injured or something.
Yeah.
But
which I suppose they do have to take somebody out.
True.
Out on.
Yeah. I would be surprised if we get to see him.
I want Ansari to come back. The accountant.
Ansari.
He's the accountant or
No,
lawyer. Next player on that list is Ollie Pope, who we know a little bit about. We've seen him play before. He's probably got the best chance of going straight into the England team because he's got England experience before.
Yeah, give him a go.
He's actually a tipped for.
He looked good when he
things.
played.
You liked him,
I
did
think
you?
he looked good. Yeah.
Was he the player? Because I get mixed up. Was he the player that was predominantly leg side?
I think so. Jonathan Trott.
No, it was another player that was predominantly leg side.
I'm saying Jonathan Trott was.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I don't think it was Ollie Pope. That was everything that he did. He tried to just whip off his legs. But we'll see. We've got Dominic Sibley here as one of the last players that we actually have to put a bit of research into.
What do you think he'll be?
I think he's going to be a batsman.
Medium pacer that bats number 8.
The one thing that interests me is if this Dominic Sibley isn't a wicketkeeper.
Who's that? Third down on the list. Fourth down.
No one cares.
Cracking player.
Dominic, if he isn't a wicketkeeper, then
he should be making the England team.
Who's going to play for? Who's going to take up that keeping spot? He's a right-handed batsman who bowls right arm off, so basically a batsman.
Simone Ali.
Looks like he plays for Warwickshire. Let's have a little look at his stats. Dominic Sibley.
Let's have a gander.
24 years old, and a good average of 41.5. Good chance maybe Dominic Sibley will come in this team then because he's like averaging 30 like that other bloke.
So excited. Averaging 41.
A lot more experience, 66 matches, a high score of 244. Strike rate of 41, so he's obviously a slower player. 20 50s and 1200s. Why hasn't this lad got in the team before?
Let's have a look. We want to see him.
Let's have a look at his bowling.
Yeah, I want to see him.
Handy.
Oh,
11.
average is 66.
So how many wickets has he got?
He's a spare over before lunch, isn't he?
4
That's
wickets
what
in
this
11
guy is.
innings of bowling.
Well,
Listen,
look, he's not in the team for his bowling. We're not having another one of them. We're not having a batsman in the team for his bowling. We're not doing that again. This lad can obviously bat. Do you know what I don't want to happen? I don't want to see him open.
over 4,000 runs. I don't think he will.
He shouldn't.
I wonder if we can find out if he is.
He should be in at 4 or 5.
If he is an opener.
I want to see him in at 4 or 5. It's hard to find where they actually bat, isn't it? You'd think that would be like you. Oh, you. It's got a storyline. You don't think? Oh, class.
Here's a bit of highlight to Dominic
just
Sibley.
Front foot, rock back. Who's that in the background? It's that front, rock back.
Live reaction to Kent versus Warwickshire Day 1.
Late cut.
This is
behind
Sibley's 224.
Late cut just goes behind point for 4. Beautiful shot.
This isn't Dominic Sibley though, is it?
Short arm punch through the leg side. What a shot. You're messing around.
This is not Dominic Sibley though.
Oh, was it not?
No.
Forget it then. The concentration machine.
Dominic Sibley has been picked by England as he bats big and he bats long.
I like this.
You have to rate that as a response.
Oh, I like this. Here we go. Oh, look. That's him celebrating. That means he's got 100.
Just the air silence.
That is.
We're both reading.
This is.
Sibley has scored 1,324 runs from.
I like this guy a lot.
In the summer, so the opener has compared his style to Andrew Straight and Alistair Cook.
He's an opener.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No.
So he might have another. So he is an opener. Google is a very.
That means he won't get a go.
He might do.
No, I mean he won't get a go. As in he'll play, and if once he does badly, they'll get rid of him immediately.
So are we
No.
Are we a Sibley fan just because we've Googled him? We did see
I'm a massive Sibley fan. What? Listen, why don't we have him? Why don't we have him at 4? We have 2 openers.
We could have him at 3.
Joe Root, and we'll have another opener. We'll have a proper Test match 4.
We could have him at number 3.
Listen,
let Joe Root bat 4.
Do you remember who was the guy? Compton. And we're like, he bats way too slow. He takes too long.
Yeah.
You can't bat him anywhere but opening. Bring him back. We need people who bat for longer.
He's retired.
Let's have an open. Really?
I think he left the game pretty soon after that. The whole England thing.
Was it us? Listen. Put him in at 4. Okay?
Yeah?
I don't know how much power this podcast has got. How much?
I've just smashed it.
Yeah. I think we should probably call this a day soon. So if I move this mic slightly, it's going to pop out.
Yeah, let's just quickly finish this off. Ben Stokes and Chris Wokes, no surprises there. 2 long-stay England players. I'll just run into the T20 team. We won't go into anyone in great detail. Owen Morgan as your captain. Johnny Bairstow will play in the T20s for England. Tom Banton, a new player for Somerset. Sam Billings, we've seen in England set up before. Pat Brown of Worcestershire, the bowler who's quite handy in T20s. Sam Curran, Tom Curran, we know a bit about those, especially in the white ball game. Joe Denley, Lewis Gregory, we haven't heard before. Owen's favourite player, Chris Jordan, will come back. Taki Mahmood, David Milan will come back in the T20s. You got Matt Parkinson who will play, Adil Rashid and James Vince. No Mo in Ali.
I wonder if Parkinson is in the team and they're looking to play him in.
Well, there's
shorter format.
They like to play 2 spinners in T20, and there's no Mo in Ali.
They're going to have a look at him in that.
You got James Vince at the end there. It looks like they
he's the backup spinner for Test matches. Like that would make sense.
That will be the case. No room for Mo and no room for Liam Plunkett.
Yeah, interesting.
We'll cover some of the games.
We'll cover the cricket.
We'll cover the games. We'll be back next week for another Rainy Day podcast. If you've liked this one, make sure you give it a like and
tell us what you think of the artwork as well.
Make sure you're subscribed. Anyway, we will catch you next week.
Interesting.
Sunday o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have an intro to this one, aren't we?
Not this one. Next one.
Oh, really?
Not this one.
Okay.
They've got too much to do today.
Fair enough.
Over and out.
Have a good one.